This is a walk-around video, and this is for a Honda Civic 1.8 EX automatic. This particular car is a 2012 plate vehicle with 76,000 miles on the clock. Been a beautifully serviced car and wonderfully well looked after as well. Just to go around the car for you, front of the car, very clean indeed, lights, lenses completely clear and intact, no condensation or cracks in those. Bumper's very clean, as is the bonnet of the vehicle, all in very nice order. Come down the near side of the vehicle first. It's really clean in the panels, this car. It's got the colour coded wheel arch trims on this vehicle, which wasn't standard on the EX cars. Full set of very good Bridgestone tyres all around, which is a wonderful sign of ownership. Front wheel there, very good, just the tiniest bit of curbing on the outside edge, which you'd normally get on the near side alloy on the front there. The panels to the side, absolutely wonderfully clean. Near side alloy, absolutely unmarked, can't see anything on there at all. And around the back of the vehicle, all in wonderful condition. And around to the off side of the vehicle, nice look at the near side, it's pretty much mirror smooth in the panels there, can't see any indentations at all. Rear offside alloy, very clean, no marks in there at all again. And the remainder of the panel work is absolutely beautiful. It looks like a car, in all honesty, it's done half the miles it's actually done. And front offside alloy, again very good, with just the minor curbing right on the outside edge there where it's caught. So overall we're looking at the car which is in absolutely gorgeous condition. Coming into the boot area, absolutely cavernous of course, 60/40 fold on the rear seats there, inflation kit tools all intact. As you probably know, you've got a dual zone boot level on these Civics, so just give that a yank, drop it down and you end up with another good 7 or 8 inches of boot depth there as well. Just coming into the back of the car now, these rear doors open virtually at 90 degrees, which give you great access into the back here, especially if you're using these brilliant and ingenious magic rear seats, which just gives you this huge amount of extra stowage area, which is very secure indeed. Full set of mats in this vehicle, as you can see. Just drop them down, beautifully engineered of course, just click like that, it's so simple. Leatherwork inside the car in the back here is in absolutely beautiful condition. Again, certainly does not look like it's had the miles it's actually done, this car. Passenger door card again, absolutely beautiful condition. All the nooks and crannies been kept really nicely. And the front passenger seat here again, as with the rear ones, just looks like it's hardly ever been used at all. With the driver's door card, again, absolutely beautiful condition. Footwell area, very clean and tidy. And driver's seat again in very good condition, with just the tiniest amount of wear to give away or give any indication at all for the mileage the car's done. So it's inside the car now. The dashboard looks pretty much as new in all honesty. It's a wonderful dashboard as well. Sat nav, as you can see there, working absolutely perfectly. Pop the down to reverse. Got that lovely clear gridded parking camera as well. But everything's been kept absolutely beautifully in this car. Even there's kind of little recesses in the middle here, all nice and clean and tidy. If I'm just panning up here, try not to snag the wire. Hopefully you can see that, 76,833 miles. And if I pan back here, you can see there's no warning lights on this dashboard at all, relating to the engine or any other part of the car. The position I've got the camera at the moment should be the position you're looking at the dashboard itself. So basically you have the steering wheel rim slap bang between the speedo and the rev counter there, and it's just a wonderful, wonderful dashboard design, all working absolutely perfectly. Just to quickly show you, owner's manual pack, and very importantly, lock and wheel nut key is here present with the car. Finally, just under the engine bay here, absolutely beautifully presented and great for basic maintenance. These cars, it's not a sea of plastic that you normally see under cars. Cam chain driven, of course, and this one's been exclusively looked after by the Honda main dealers. What will follow this video will be a road test of this very car. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Honda Civic 1.8 EX automatic. This particular car is registered RJ12EOU, and mileage at the start of this road test is 76,834 miles. Reason for the road test is simple. It's just so customers of ours get to see the cars we're selling actually in operation prior to coming to see us. That way, if there's any issues at all on the car, we can and we will relay them back to you. We're aware that many of our customers now are coming from all over mainland Europe and the whole of the UK, and hence they have to put some trust in us to ensure that when they get to us there's no fundamental problem which they should have been told about, so hence that's why we do it. Also done on the very quiet country roads very close to our premises, so hopefully be representative of what you'd feel yourself if offered a test drive on the vehicle. This particular car has come direct from the Honda main dealer to us, and has a wonderful Honda service history. Its very first service was actually done by Bristol, and then all the others done at the same dealership thereafter. And it feels like it because the car drives absolutely beautifully, it really does. It's just gone through the workshops, and apart from topping up the washer bottle, there was absolutely nothing that required attention on the car at all, but like I said, that comes as no great surprise. Engine starts absolutely instantly, settles to completely even idle. Wonderful engines, very smooth, very easy to use. It's beautifully matched to the gearbox of the vehicle. It's got plenty of low down grunt, but typical Honda, kind of really zingy performance to it as well. It's a lovely, lovely unit. No warning lights on this car at all relating to the engine or any other part of the car. These are cam chain driven engines, so no cam belts to worry about on them at all, but just a fabulous, fabulous unit to use, and have a reliability and longevity record which shames pretty much every other manufacturer. They're as close to bulletproof as you can possibly make an engine, but lovely to use at the same time. Engine then goes through into the Honda fully automatic gearbox. Lovely gearbox, very slick, very smooth gear changes. You hardly notice it really. It's fabulous to use in operation. You can use the paddles on the steering wheel to override it manually as well if you want. That all works absolutely perfectly as well. On test drive, what I'm looking for on any automatic, regardless of age or mileage, is just any signs of any wear, and that normally will show itself as basically having sort of slightly harsh gear changes, or when they do engage gear, a bit of a delay and a thud from when selecting from neutral to drive or reverse. But this has got none of it. It feels absolutely like brand new to drive. It's amazing, this car, and it's just wonderfully easy to drive. So in terms of the main powertrain of the vehicle, in absolutely perfect working order. Steering on the car, lovely precise steering setup, very accurate, very well weighted. There's no vibrations coming back through the steering wheel at this speed or anything up to the legal limit. Track's absolutely bullet straight, but I can't feel any wear in it at all. It just feels solid, absolutely solid on the vehicle. Same goes for the suspension of the vehicle. What I'm looking for on these road tests is just any signs of any mechanical wear underneath, and that will normally show itself as a little bit of clunking or something from underneath, and that's nearly always things like little anti-roll bar drop links, little rubber bushes that perish, and you can just hear metal just chattering against metal, and it sounds horrible, but there's nothing on this. It's absolutely smooth, and it's a wonderful suspension setup. The criticism of the last generation Civic was that the suspension was a bit hard and harsh at dealing with some road imperfections, and it probably was a little bit, although I didn't mind it at all. This has taken any of that out of the equation because it's a fantastically comfortable car to drive, and it's lost none of the agility that the previous model had. It's still a lovely car to whiz along in, and if you're in the enthusiastic mood, it responds beautifully. Brakes on the car, give it a shove. Lovely solid brake pedal. There's no pulsing vibrations, nothing coming back through the brake pedal at all. Pulls the car down straight, true. So all in very good order, and they certainly looked in very nice order underneath the vehicle when we checked it out earlier on. Noticeable also how quiet the car is on the move. That can be ruined very easily with a damaged windscreen seal or door seal that is accidentally snagged, but I'm driving it virtually the legal limit now, and it's very, very, very quiet in here. Looking around inside the car, to all intents and purposes, I could be sat in a new car. It just feels rock solid. No murmurs from the dashboard or anything at all. These are wonderfully, wonderfully built cars, and just some very nice materials as well. And what Honda have done really, really well, I feel, at least anyway, because it's beauty's in the eye of the beholder, which I'm fully aware of. I believe that they've done a fantastic job with the interior. You've got a car that combines conventional with almost futuristic. You've got this fairly standard centre stack, nice, simple, easy to use, sat nav working perfectly, air conditioning pumping out ice cold air, and it's a very hot day today, by the way. Heated seats work perfectly, but the switches have a beautiful actuation, very, very high quality indeed, and they feel like they did when they were brand new. But then my favourite part of the dashboard, this bit in front of me with this two-tier design. So I've got all the information I'd ordinarily want to look at it, either constantly or occasionally. And so speedo is up nice and high. I can look at the cars in front and easily take the information in as I'm driving along. Then you've got your trip meter up high, radio display up there as well. But all where you can just see it with whilst keeping an eye on the road, without having to take your eyes off for a millisecond. It's a brilliant, brilliant design. Down below that, we've got these three dials, or three pods, with some information, the fuel gauge, rev counter and temperature gauge, which incidentally is running at a third, which is exactly where it should be on a Honda car when they're up to temperature. But everything is working exactly as it should. It feels almost as new. It really is. I mean, it's a bit of a spoiler for the video, because as I said, the point of these videos is to pick up on any issues, and I can find nothing at all on this car. It drives absolutely beautifully. Having said that, if I've missed something on the video, then please don't hesitate, do give us a call. And we do prefer to be called rather than emailed. I'm going to be honest with you, we're quite old-fashioned as a company. Both myself and Tony, who run the company, we're both ex-Honda people. We used to work for the Bristol Honda dealership, and we're very enthusiastic about our cars and happy to talk to you about them, which is not always easy via email, which can seem a little bit cold and impersonal, and I'm rubbish at them, in all honesty, which is the honest truth. But anyway, do give us a call if you need to, but do email also if you prefer it to do it that way.